Hi, everybody. I wanted to give everybody an update after my New York trip yesterday. We returned late last night, so I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday. Um, we got to New York. Everything went well. No issues, no problems. They did a bone marrow biopsy on me. They pulled it out of my back again, so my back is just a little bit stiff still from the procedure. But they did that. They did some more blood work. Um, and they gave me some guidelines as to what's about to happen in the next coming weeks for me. So I won't get the results from the test yesterday, from the bone marrow biopsy or the PET scan. I took a PET scan as well until about Wednesday next week, March the 7th. March the 7th, I'm going to have to go all the way back to New York again to go over what I hope to be the final details of my stay. And they gave me a tentative date of check-in of March 14th. When I check in to the hospital on March 14th, the first day I basically will be getting a port put in. It's not a port, it's actually called a catheter, I think. I'll get that put in, and then there'll be some other things set up wise. But the very next day is the day I'll get my first chemo treatment. Or excuse me, I'll get the beginnings of my last chemo treatment, as I hope. That will take about 6 or 7 days, and then I'll do what hopefully will remain a small dosage of radiation. They said I'll have to go through a little bit of radiation. Once that's done, I will finally get the stem cell transplant. And they said it basically works a lot like a blood transfusion. They already have the cord bloods set aside, ready for me to, ready to go. It'll run through me for a couple hours, and then that's it. I mean, that's not it for my stay in New York, but in terms of like my treatment, no, I don't even want to say that because I don't want to jinx it. That is what is planned so far. Now, I did get a little bit of new information, revised information from what I've gotten before. The expectation is once the day I arrive in New York to check into the hospital, from that day I will stay most likely about 6 weeks at the hospital itself. Once I check out of the hospital, and I've mentioned this in videos before, I'll go to the Hope Lodge. It's projected that I'll stay there 3 months, not 2 months. For some reason, I was thinking it was based off previous conversations. I thought it was 2 months, but because it's a cord blood transfusion instead of an adult stem cell transfusion, I'm gonna have to stay a little bit longer. Those are all projections. Those could all change. They could improve. They could worsen. It's just a matter of how I respond and so forth. A couple of really nice things that I found out in yesterday is that once I leave the hospital and I go to the Hope Lodge, I can have visitors. There's a common area at the lodge that people who want to come see me can come see me at. I actually think one of my friends, and I don't know who, so I won't say it, but I think someone's already starting to organize people maybe coming to visit or whatever. But I'll be in New York, and they can come stay in the common areas with me. They won't be able to come back to the room with me. I can also have visitors while I'm at the hospital. However, they said if I do, they'll have to wear a mask, they'll have to wear gloves, and most likely they may have to wear some sort of drape or garb or something like that. But that's all the new information I have. So actually tomorrow I'll go in from what I hope to be my last back injection. There's another test that I have to take Monday, but it's in Hartford, and then I go Wednesday to back to New York to hopefully get the final details and then set the actual schedule. But tentatively speaking, right now, I check in March 14th, and then as I laid out the plan, it'll go from there. Switching gears for a little bit, what I want to kind of move to is something that's been super positive about this whole experience is that a couple people, because of my situation, have applied for and started to register for, the link I posted a couple videos back with Be the Match. And one of the people that did so is my sister-in-law, Kim. Kim, if you don't know her, was a very special person to us. She's actually just engaged to Drew's brother, Thomas. And she decided to set aside school for a semester and move here and help us this whole time. She agreed to be on the video. Say hi, Kimmy.
Hi.
You got little dude in the picture too.
Say hello.
Of course, she has been very, very helpful to me, very, very helpful to the family. She's been taking care of Wes this whole time while I'm in and out of hospital stays and while Drew has to go back to work. But she applied to be the match, and I just wanted to give her a second just to kind of go over what the experience was like and, you know, what she thought of it.
It's really easy. You just go on their website and you click to register. They ask some, like, your age, your gender, your ethnicity. You put an address, and then they send you a kit. It took me, honestly, less than 2 minutes to do it.
And so she did that, and then, what was it, a couple weeks later, 2 weeks later maybe?
Yeah.
So we got this in the mail. So let me go through it real quick. It comes with you know, a nice letter from Be the Match that, you know, tells you a little bit about the program and you know what they're doing. Then it comes with this little kit, and I wanted to show you how easy it was. Basically, there's 2 cotton swabs, and then 2 sets of barcodes that are here. And there's some instructions that you basically take the cotton swabs, you swab your mouth, you seal it up, put it back in the package, and then they give you an envelope. You put it in the envelope, you send it on its way. And so really that's it. I know in my particular case that I am not getting, you know, what Kim's doing is, you know, I'm not going to be a beneficiary of an adult donor, but I just want to, you know, harp on or be an advocate for, you know, people doing this, which is actually a good example. You know, so Kim is being a donor, and of course my son here. I'm never, based off how this works, I'm never going to meet, you know, the 2 little babies whose placenta and umbilical cord is going to save my life. But someone decided to make that decision one day, and it's, you know, going to prove to be monumental to me. So I just wanted to show you how easy it was, make you hopefully aware of what's out there, because I certainly wasn't aware of this. I've learned so much throughout this whole process. You know, I didn't know anything at the beginning, but you know, I'm very thankful for people like Kim and other folks out there who've helped support us through this whole thing. So thank you. But
I want to tell them how you, like, I
Yeah,
want
go
to
ahead.
just tell you when you do get picked. It's really simple. We watched a video a few weeks back, kind of for what Wes to expect when he gets his transplant. And if you are a donor, it's pretty much the same as giving blood. They take it out through your blood, they like separate the stem cells, and then they put the blood like back in. So it's not surgery, it's nothing really invasive. It's really the same as giving blood once you're picked, which was surprising to me. I thought it would be a lot more, there'd be more to it. So
yeah, we did watch it. We were given a DVD by Sloan, and we watched it and had a lot of very good information. And you know, the other thing is, you know, based off what they're talking about and based off the conversation I had, you know, if you sign up to be a donor and for whatever reason, you know, one day someone needs your help, you know, there are the other person's insurance, and then there's so many other grants and other programs out there that, not that you wouldn't make a sacrifice to have to go make a trip to New York or, you know, whatever the case might be and donate your stem cells, but they really try to be as accommodating as they can be, you know, to the person that's going to be a donor. So I can't encourage you enough, especially people who are of, you know, in a minority type of group. You know, something my doctor said a long time ago when this first started was that they don't get enough people in minority groups to donate. And so it's really, really important. There's a lot of people out there that, you know, could use your help someday. And like she was referring to a video, the experience that this man had gone through was one of his buddies in the military came down with something, and at the time they didn't have the tools to save his life, but because of his buddy, he signed up, and it was like 10 or 15 years later, they contacted him, and he saved this little girl's life. So I want to be an advocate for it. I want to encourage you to do it. Obviously, you know, we think it's very, very important, but, you know, hopefully it kind of pulls at you to do it, because it honestly, it just, I don't know if it could be any easier. It's just a couple of steps. It's a cotton swab, 2 cotton swabs, and you mail it back in. And it costs literally no money, just a couple seconds of time. So, but all right. So kind of closing out, like I said, the next week or so is a couple more tests, but I anticipate in the next 2 weeks I'll be headed to New York to start this next process. So, thank you guys. I love you, and hope everyone has a good night.